Good morning to all. Myself Manoj Kumar Bundela, Assistant Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. We are discussing the seed production technology of vegetable crops. In this, today we will discuss the methods of fertilizer application. So, importance of fertilizer application. Since we already know that the soil do not provide all the nutrients that required for the growth and development of the plants. So we have to apply the fertilizer artificially to overcome the deficiency of that particular nutrient in the soil. Also, fertilizers are not one-time material, which once provided do not have to be resupplied. So fertilizers are not one-time materials. Once we apply the fertilizers, then again we have to supply the fertilizers to reduce the need of soil towards the nutrients. In fact, every time you harvest your plant, they remove some nutrients along with them. The regular supply of fertilizers to plant is a must to ensure their regular growth and yield. Find out more about the significance of fertilizers in following lines. Fertilizer scheduling must be based on the soil test. Selection of fertilizers should be done according to the soil reaction. Application of fertilizers normally we get based on the reaction of the soil. Acidic fertilizers for alkaline soil. So normally acidic fertilizers we apply in alkaline soil, and the basic fertilizers we apply in acidic soil. The basic fertilizers we apply in acidic soil, and acidic fertilizers we apply in alkaline soil. Surface application through broadcasting should not be adopted, but the fertilizers should be placed about 3 to 4 centimeters by the side and below the seeds. So normally when we go for application of fertilizers, we will not place the fertilizers near to the seeds or near to the plants. Just we keep the seeds away from the plant, 3 to 4 centimeters away from the plants. The phosphatic and potassic fertilizers should be basal placed. So normally phosphatic and potassic fertilizers we have to go for basal application because their poor mobility restricted them to the place of application. Potassic fertilizers are that they are not so much movable. So normally we will apply the near to the plant. Therefore, it must be placed in root zone of the plant. Some mixing of fertilizers should be accordance with the fertilizer mixing guide, and such fertilizers mixer must be applied as soon as possible. Home mixing of fertilizers should be in home. We have to mix the fertilizer in our home only. After that, we will apply the fertilizer in field condition. In case of heavy soil type, half of the nitrogenous fertilizer should be basal placed and the rest should be top dressed in one split dose. So half of the fertilizers we have to apply as a basal dose, and the remaining half dose of nitrogen fertilizers we apply as a top dose. But in case of light soils, nitrogen should be applied in three split doses. In light soil, in heavy soil, nitrogen we apply in two split dose. But in heavy light soil, we have to apply the nitrogen in three split dose. One third dose we apply as a basal dose, one third after 30 days of sowing, and the balance one third about 50 to 60 days after sowing. So one third we apply as a basal dose, one third 30 days after sowing, and one third 50 to 60 days after sowing. In light soils, we have to apply the nitrogen in three split dose, and in heavy soils, we have to apply the nitrogen in two split dose. Fertilizer use efficiency. For at least a week, flooding with top deep water for the poor drainage should be avoided after application of fertilizer. A week flooding with too deep water for the poor drainage should be avoided after application of fertilizer. Top dressing should be done after draining out the water and weeding so that the loss of nutrient is minimum. So normally we will go for top dressing to remove the nutrients to reduce the loss of nutrients. Paddy fields used for transplanting should be puddled and fertilizer should be applied at the time of puddling. In paddy field, when we go for puddling, that time only we have to apply the fertilizers. This will help the fertilizers to penetrate and got stored in the soil. If we go like this, then it will help to penetrate and get stored into the soil. Acidic soil should be treated with liming material as and when required. So acidic soil normally we will treat with the lime materials to increase the pH of the soil. Deep placement of fertilizers along with foliar feeding of nitrogen like urea. Through spraying of nitrogenous fertilizer in the place of top dressing should be done in case of dyelands. So deep placement of fertilizer along with the foliar feeding of nitrogen we have to do for the nitrogenous fertilizers. Addition of organic manure for green manuring should be done at least once in 3 to 5 years. So at least once in 3 to 5 years we have to go for green manuring. Weed growth should not be permitted in cropped area during the any part of time. Yes, any part of time we will not allow the weed growth in the soil. In case of flooded field or calcareous soil, use of slow releasing nitrogenous fertilizers. In calcareous soil, we have to use the slow releasing nitrogenous fertilizers like sulfur coated urea, urea super granules we can use, neem coated or neem blended urea we can use, should be used so that the loss of nitrogen can be minimized. So in calcareous soils, we use the slow releasing nitrogenous fertilizers. Sulfur coated urea, urea super granules and neem coated or neem blended urea we can use. Mud soil contain urea and should be used in case of deep water crop. So mud balls contain the urea and should be used in case of deep water crops because they help in proper placement and also reduce the loss of nitrogen from the field. The relative efficiency of various methods depends on many factors. Like broadcasting application may be less effective than the banded or seed row application under the some condition. So normally broadcasted application may be less effective than the banded or seed row application under some condition. Fertilizers placed in the seed row can be delay or the severely reduce the crop emergence. So in seed row, whatever fertilizers we have to place, they can be delay or severely reduce the crop emergence. The maximum rate can be safely placed in the seed row depends on the crop type. So what is the maximum rate that can be safely placed in the seed row? It is depends on the crop type, soil moisture content, soil type, clay or organic matter content, type of fertilizers, which fertilizers we are using, row spacing, and spread of seeds and fertilizers means type of openers, what type of openers we are using. Crop type, soil moisture, soil type, clay or organic matter, type of fertilizers, row spacing, and spread of seed and fertilizers. The maximum rate can be safely placed in the seed row. Nitrogenous fertilizers, nitrogen fertilizer application based on the leaf color chart. The leaf color chart is an innovative cost-effective tool for the real-time and crop need-based nitrogenous fertilizers. So when we apply the nitrogenous fertilizers, normally it is based on the leaf color chart. So we have to study the leaf color chart and based on that we have to apply the nitrogenous fertilizers. Leaf color chart is a visual and subjective indicator of plant nitrogen deficiency and inexpensive, easy to use and simple alternative to the chlorophyll meter, spade meters, soil plant analysis development. Spade की flow से soil plant analysis development. So leaf color chart is a very effective method and we can easily use this. Easy to use and it is not so much expensive also. We will go for soil plant analysis, we will go for analysis of the soil. After that we have to apply the fertilizer. So it is a costly and it will take the time. But a leaf color chart, it will not take so much time, and it is a very effective method of application of nitrogenous fertilizers. It measures the leaf color intensity that is related to the leaf nitrogen status. Leaf color chart is an ideal tool to optimize the nitrogen use at high yield levels, irrespective of the source of nitrogen applied. The organic manure biologically fixed nitrogen for the chemical fertilizers. Leaf color chart is an ideal tool for application of nitrogenous fertilizers. It is an eco-friendly tool in hands of farmers. It is eco-friendly tools means in farmers, every farmers they have the leaf color charts. Now it is manufactured with four colors called four panel. Now it is prepared in four colors or the four panels leaf color chart or six color for the six panel leaf color chart. It has the two types, four color leaf chart and six color leaf color chart. Moreover, leaf color chart is provided with waterproof laminated instructions stickers in the required regional language. These are the leaf color charts, four color leaf chart and six color leaf chart. So we can see that when the yellowing of the leaf will be start, that time we will apply the nitrogenous fertilizer. And this means when there is a complete green in color means it not required the any quantity of nitrogenous fertilizers. In this we have to according to the color chart we have to apply the fertilizers. Like in this it requires the more amount of nitrogenous fertilizer, it requires less, it requires the less than this, and it not required the any nitrogen deficit. Like this in six color chart also it is same only. The yellow color is more means it requires the more quantity of nitrogen, and green color means it not required the any quantity of nitrogen. Purpose of using leaf color chart is to apply the adequate amount of nitrogen and avoid the application of fertilizers more than required. The purpose of leaf color chart is to apply the adequate amount of nitrogen and to avoid the application of fertilizers more than the required. Use of leaf color chart helps to determine the nitrogen demand of the crop, means we will check the nitrogen demand for the crop. By the right time of fertilizer nitrogen application, we have to check the right time of nitrogen fertilizer application so as to prevent the unwanted nitrogen losses and their serious impacts on the ecosystem. So we can reduce the unwanted nitrogen losses and the serious impact on the ecosystem. So according to that, we have to apply the nitrogen. So sometimes if we apply the more quantity of nitrogen, then also it will affect the plants. So we have to apply the nitrogen according to the requirements of the plants. So that requirements of the plant we will check by the with the help of this leaf color chart. More crops, less cost. So if we apply the more number of crops are there, it is have the less cost. It will avoid the disease incidence and it will reduce the GHG emission. Application of solid fertilizers. So solid fertilizers are applied in four methods. First one is broadcasting method. Second one is placement method. Third one is band placement, and fourth one is pellet application. Broadcasting method it includes the basal application and top dressing. In placement method, flow the soil placement, deep placement and localized placement. In band placement, hill placement and row placement. Broadcasting. In generally, banana crop or broadcasting methods are not followed. Now in banana crop, normally we will not follow the broadcasting method. In broadcasting method, what we have to do, we have to apply the fertilizers, like we will broadcast the fertilizers. We will take the fertilizers and we will broadcast to the field. So in this, we have to apply the more quantity of fertilizers we have to apply in broadcasting method. Second is placement method. It refers to the placement of fertilizer in the soil at a specific place. So we have to place a fertilizer in a specific place with or without reference to the position of the seeds. So based on the means we have to place the fertilizers near to the plant, 2 to 3 centimeter above from the plants. We have to place the seeds in a particular place only. Placement of fertilizer is normally recommended when the quantity of fertilizers is applied is small. Means if the more quantity of fertilizer there, then we will go for broadcasting. But if the quantity of fertilizer is less, in that condition we will apply the placement method of fertilizer application. Development of root system is poor, soil have a low level of fertility, and to apply the phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. Whatever the soil is there, soil have the development of the root system is poor and soil have the low level of fertility and do apply the phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. Phosphatic and potassic fertilizers we apply in placement method. Flow soil placement. In this method, fertilizer is placed at the bottom of the plow. This is the plow. At the bottom of the plow, we will keep the fertilizers furrow in a continuous band during the process of plowing. So we have to place the fertilizers. We have to plow the soil. Then we will place the fertilizers on the and the plow. Dip placement. In this, it is the placement of ammonical nitrogenous fertilizers in the reduction zone of soil, particularly in the paddy fields. When normally in the paddy fields, we have to apply the fertilizers in ammonical form, whereas the ammonical nitrogen remains available to the plants. So in deep placement method, the ammonical nitrogen will be remain available to the plants. This method ensures the better distribution of fertilizers in the root zone. So deep placement method is ensure the better distribution of fertilizers in the root zone soil and prevent the loss of nutrient by runoff. So if we apply the deep placement method, so the runoff of the soil, the nutrient will be not run off with the water and it will be available to the root zone of the plant. Localized placement. It is refers to the application of fertilizers into the soil close to the seed or the plant in order to supply the nutrient in adequate amounts to the roots of the growing plant. Close to the seed or plant in order to supply the nutrient in adequate amount to the roots of growing plant. The common method to place the fertilizers close to the seeds or the plant are as follows. Drilling method. In this method, the fertilizer is applied at the time of sowing by means of seed-cum-fertilizer drill. So in this method, the fertilizer is applied at the time of sowing by the means of seed-cum-fertilizer drill method. This places fertilizers and the seed in the same row but at the different depth. So normally we will apply the fertilizers in same row, but the depth of the soil is different. Although this method has been found suitable for the application of phosphatic and potassic fertilizers in cereal crops. So drilling method is it is suitable for the application of phosphatic and potassic fertilizers in cereal crops. But sometimes the germination of seeds Drilling. In this method, the fertilizer is applied at the time of sowing by means of seed cum fertilizer drill. The places fertilizers and the seed in the same row but at different depth. Although this method has been found suitable for the application of phosphatic and potassic fertilizers in cereals, but sometimes the germination of seeds and young plants may get damaged due to the higher concentration of soluble salts. Side dressing. It refers to the spreading of fertilizers in between the rows and around the plants. The common method of side dressing are placement of nitrogenous fertilizers by hand in between the rows of the crop like maize, sugarcane, cotton to apply the additional dose of nitrogen to the growing crop. Placement of fertilizers around the trees like mango, apple, grapes and papaya. Placement in nitrogenous fertilizers by hand in between the rows. The crop like maize, sugarcane, cotton apply the additional dose of nitrogen to the growing crops. Band placement. It refers to the placement of fertilizers in band. The band placement is of two types. Hill placement. It is practiced for the application of fertilizer in orchards. In these methods, the fertilizers are placed close to the plant in bands or one or both sides of the plant. The length and depth of the band is varies with the nature of the crop. The length and the depth of the band is varies the nature and the growth. So band placement method क्या होता है? In refers to the placement of fertilizers in band. The band placement is of two types. Hill placement. Hill placement means it is practiced for the placement of fertilizers in orchards. In this method, the fertilizers are placed close to the plant in band or on one or both sides of the plant. The length and depth of the band is varies with the nature of the crop. Row placement. When the crop like sugarcane, potato, maize, cereals are sown close together in rows, the fertilizer is applied in continuous band on one or both sides of the row. So normally we will apply the fertilizers in one both sides of the row, which is known as the row placement. Pellet application. It refers to the placement of nitrogenous fertilizers in the form of pellets 2.5 to 5 cm deep between the row of the paddy crop. Placement of nitrogenous fertilizers in the form of pellets 2.5 to 5 cm deep between the row of the paddy crops. The fertilizer is mixed with the soil in the ratio of 1:10 and made small pellets of convenient size to deposit into the mud of paddy fields. So normally 1:10 ratio we have to apply the fertilizers in pellet. Advantage of placement of fertilizers. When the fertilizer is placed, there is a minimum contact between the soil and the fertilizers. Thus the fixation of nutrient is greatly reduced. The weeds all over the field cannot make use of fertilizers. Residual response of fertilizers is usually higher. If we apply the higher amount of fertilizers, then the residual effect will be more. Utilization of fertilizers by the plants is higher. Loss of nitrogenous by leaching is reduced. Loss of nitrogen by leaching is reduced. Being immobile, phosphates are better utilized when placed. So when the fertilizer is placed, there is a minimum contact between the soil and the fertilizers, and thus the fixation of nutrients is greatly reduced. The weeds all over the fields cannot make use of fertilizers. Application of liquid fertilizers. Starter solution we can use, foliar application, fertigation, injection into the soil and aerial application. So these are the different methods we can use. Starter solution, foliar application, fertil fertigation, injection into the soil and aerial application. Starter solution. It refers to the application of solution of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in the ratio of 1:2:1 or 1:1:2 to the young plants at the time of transplanting. particularly for the vegetables. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium in ratio of 1:2, 2:1 or 1:1 1:2 for the young plants for the time of transplanting, particularly for the vegetables. Starter solution helps in rapid establishment and quick growth of the seedlings. The disadvantage of starter solution are extra labor is required and the fixing of phosphate is higher. Fixation of phosphate is higher. Foliar application: it refers to the spraying of fertilizer solution containing one or more nutrients on the foliage of the growing plant. Normally we will spray the fertilizers on the foliage of the growing plant. Several nutrient elements are readily absorbed by the leaves when they are dissolved into the water and sprayed on them. The concentration of the spraying solution has to be controlled, otherwise the serious damage may result due to the scorching of the leaves. So whatever the concentration, we have to go for foliar application. So when we go for foliar application, we have to maintain the particular concentration. If the concentration is more, then there is a chance of dying of the leaf. The concentration of the spray solution has to be controlled, otherwise there is serious damage related to the scorching of the leaves. Foliar application is effective for the application of minor nutrients like iron, copper, boron, zinc and manganese. Sometimes the insecticides are also applied along with the fertilizers. So we will apply some insecticide also. Effective application of minor fertilizers like iron, copper, boron, zinc and manganese. Application through irrigation water means that is called as fertigation. It refers to the application of water-soluble fertilizers through the irrigation. Means we will mix the water-soluble fertilizers in irrigation water and then we will supply the nutrients. The nutrients are thus carried into the soil in a solution. Generally, nitrogenous fertilizers are applied through the irrigation water. So normally, nitrogen fertilizers we apply with the help of irrigation water in fertigation. So normally, the water-soluble fertilizers we have to select for application in fertigation. Injection into the soil: the liquid fertilizer for injection into the soil may be of either precious or non-preserve type. The non-precious solution may be applied either on the surface or in the furrow without appreciable loss of plant nutrients under the most conditions. Non-precious solution may be applied either on the surface or in the furrow without appreciable losses of plant nutrient under most conditions. Anhydrous ammonium must be placed in narrow furrow at a depth of 12 to 15 centimeters and covered immediately to prevent the loss of ammonia. So anhydrous ammonia we can use. So anhydrous ammonia, what is the help of this? Ammonia, it must be placed in the narrow furrow. Narrow furrow we will use at a depth of 12 to 15 centimeters and covered immediately to prevent the loss of ammonia. Aerial application: in area where the ground application is not practicable. In some area the ground application is not possible. So in that we will go for aerial application. The fertilizer solution are applied by the aircraft, particularly in the hilly areas, in the forest lands, in grasslands or in the sugarcane fields. So in that field we have to apply the fertilizers into the aerial. Fertilizer application methods: there are three ways for using the nitrogen fixing for PSMB, phosphate solubilizing microbacteria, soil application, root dipping or sucker treatment. So three methods we can use. Either we can go for soil application, we can apply the nitrogen soil, root dipping we can go, or we can go for suckers treatment. We will go for treatment with the suckers. Biofertilizer application methods. Root tip application. So root tip application is used for the all crops. In all crops we can apply the biofertilizers in root dip application. Dose per packet per acre is 200 gram biofertilizers we have to apply. Water is 400 ml. The ratio is 1:2. Suckers or set treatment. So sets of sugarcane based on banana. So sets of sugarcane we have to treat 1 to 2 kg. Suckers we have to treat 50 to 100 liters of water we can use and we can apply in 1:5 ratio. Soil application. So soil application, it is used for the all crops. Soil application we can use for the all crops. For 2 kg dose we have to use for wetting. Normally for wetting we have to use 40 to 50 kg. Sucker treatment. The sucker treatment is a most common method adopted for all type of the inoculants. So normally for all type of inoculants we have to apply the sucker treatment method. The sucker treatment is effective and economic method. The coating can be done in plastic packets. For this purpose, a plastic packet or a big can be used. The solution can be used as a sticker at 15 to 25 ml per kg. So normally we will add the stickers also in sucker treatment and we will apply the fertilizer. We will go for coating of the plastic packets. The packets have to be filled with 10% sugar solution, 40% gum arabic or synthetic glues or glues of vegetable or animal origin or the honey or the mineral oil or peanut oil, soybean oil, 10% molasses or rice syrup. So these we can use as a these we can use for the treatment of the suckers. When we go for treatment of the suckers, that time we will use as a wetting agent we can use. The use of stickers is in view of increase the amount of inoculants that will adhere the suckers so that the number of rhizobia on the each suckers may retain higher population. So use of stickers in view to increase the amount of inoculants that will adhere the suckers so that the number of rhizobia on the each suckers can be retained the higher population. Root dipping: it required the quantity of azoospermillum has to be mixed with 5 to 10 liters of water at one corner of the field and all the plants have to keep minimum half an hour before planting. So before half an hour of planting, we have to it required the quantity of azoospermillum has to be mixed with 5 to 10 liters of water at one corner of the field and all plants have to be kept for the minimum half an hour before. Soil application: mix the 4 kg each of biofertilizers in 200 kg of compost and leave it overnight. Apply it apply this mixture in the soil at the time of sowing or planting. So mix the 4 kg each biofertilizers in 200 kg of compost. In plantation, crop supply with this mixture near to the root zone and cover this soil. Procedure for the registration of varieties under PPV-FRA. Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmer Act 2001. So, why the protection of plant is required in India? So, normally it is compliance with TRIPS. Some for the IPR protection is necessary for the plants. Can be in the form of patent protection, sui generis system, and by the combination of both. Varieties that can be registered, that is called as novel varieties, extant varieties, former varieties, and essentially derived varieties. So these are the different varieties will come. Extant varieties: a variety in a public domain is eligible for the protection. Notified under the Section 5 of Seed Act 1966. The varieties which are notified under the Section 5 of Seed Act 1966. The former varieties: a, vari- a varieties about which there is a common knowledge and include the propagating materials for the extant varieties. Registration within 3 years. Within 3 years we have to go for registration. Essentially derived varieties is an varieties which is essentially derived from initial varieties. Initially varieties, the retained expression of essential characteristics clearly distinguishable from the initial varieties, clearly distribute from the initial variety, conform to the initial varieties in expression of characteristics, except the variation which result in the process of derivation. Not clearly defined in Act. So it is not defined clearly in this Act. Thus testing guidelines for the EDV is not developed yet. People who can apply for protection of varieties. Any person claiming to be breeder of the varieties means any person claiming to be the breeder of the variety, any successors of the breeder of the varieties, any person being the assigned to the breeder of the varieties, any farmers or group of farmers or a community of farmers claiming to be the breeder of the varieties, any person authorized in the prescribed manner by the person mentioned above, any university or publicly founded agricultural institution claiming for the breeder of the particular varieties. So that can be go for the protection of varieties. Protection of varieties conditions: denomination, description, descriptors of the varieties. We have to check the novelties. Desk characters we have to check. Parental lines we have to check, and terminator technology we have to use. Rights of the owner of the varieties. Section 28. The owner of the protected varieties have the right to produce the protected varieties, sell the varieties, market the varieties, distribute the varieties, import the varieties, and export the varieties. So the protectors, it have the ability means it will go for produce the protected varieties, sell the varieties, market the varieties, distribute the variety, import the variety, and export the varieties. In case of varieties being EDV, where the EDV derived from the protected varieties, then an authorized required for the breeders of infringement section 64. Any one of the following done by the person other than the owner or without his authorization or license: sells, exports, imports and exports a registered varieties, sell, export, import and export a varieties deceptively similar to the registered varieties. So this will come in this section 64. Act not considered to be infringement. Researchers' right. Use of varieties for the research and experimental purpose allowed. Use of varieties as an initial varieties for the creation of a new varieties allowed. The repeated use of varieties for the commercial production of a new variety is not allowed without the authorization of the breeders of the registered variety. Means whatever the varieties we are using for the commercial purpose, it will be used after the authorization of the breeders. Relief in case of infringements. An injunction awards against the infringers. A plaintiff has the option to claim the damage or share the profits to the infringers. Other protection provided: the PPV-FRA provides a civil as well as a criminal liability for the other act which violate the right of the owner of the protected varieties. The penalty for selling the varieties to which the false denomination is applied. Section 71. Punishable offense with a heavy fine. So it is a punishable and you have the heavy fines if we use for grow the other varieties without his permission. Penalty for the falsely representing a variety as a registered means we will registered means any variety we have to say that is a registered variety under the section 72. So it is a punishable. Penalty for the subsequent of offense. Section 73. Duty of breeders for a protected variety. Shall in all circumstances provide correctly the expected yield and performance under a given set of conditions. Shall ensure that the denomination of the protected varieties conforms with the description of protected varieties. Who is farmer? A farmer is defined in PPVFR. Section 2. Farmers means a person who cultivates the crop by cultivating the land himself or cultivates the crop by directly supervising the cultivation of land through any other persons. Converse and preservation several or jointly with any persons or any wild species of traditional varieties, or adds value to the such wild species or traditional varieties through the section and their identification of their useful purpose. Farmers' right, Section 39, has the same prevalence with respect to the breeders of the varieties. A farmer's right shall be entitled for the registration if a declaration has been made that the initial varieties has been lawfully obtained, can save, use, show, reshow, exchange, share or sell his farm producing including the seed of protected varieties. The farmers as such cannot sell the branded seeds of protected varieties. A farmer can claim the damage if the seeds of the protected varieties does not give the yield as stated by the breeders. Protection against the unintentional use. A Act provided farmers against the unintentional and accidental use of protected varieties. No infra no infringements if the farmer was unaware of extent of the rights; a relief guarantee as a damage for the infringement shall not be guaranteed if the farmer prove before the court that at the time he was unaware of extent of such rights. Farmers or a group of farmers not liable to pay fee in any proceeding, including any fee payable for the inspection or obtaining the any copy of documents or a copy of decision. Compulsory licensing system. It needs to be protected varieties or not available after 3 years of the registration in adequate quantity and at reasonable price. The authority may grant license to the third party to undertake the production, distribution and sales of the seeds on a reasonable royalty. Production, distribution and sale of the seeds for a reasonable quantity. Authority will invite to claim for the benefit sharing for a person or a organization, the benefit sharing only for the Indian citizen or organization. Bidders can oppose the claim. Authorities shall decide the quantum, the amount of benefit share shall be deposited with the National Gene Fund. So this is the how we can go for registration of the varieties. There is a two type, new or extant for the farmer varieties or essentially derived varieties, that is called as EDV. The application has been submitted to the PPV FRA duly filled in the form along with the technical questionnaires and other enclosures. The application has to be also submit to the authority that the stipulated amount of seeds for testing and keeping in the gene bank along with the prescribed fees. The dust test, the identification of 12 species which are to start soon will be done using the field expertise of ICAR or State Agriculture University system. After examination, after examining the application form, the conducting the dust test, the eligible varieties shall be registered by the authority and the certificate of registration shall be issued. Farmers are not pay any fees for that. Fee for registration of various materials like cereals and grains 2,000, commercial crops 35,000, spices and medicinal plant 20,000, plantation crop 35,000, flowers and lawn 15,000, fruit trees 20,000, vegetables 20,000, forest trees 20,000. Annual fees are different. Other application fees or charges, application form charge 200, extent of common knowledge, dust test 2,000, registration certificate charges. The renewal of fee payable by the breeder's agent or licensing shall be contained in second schedule of PPVFR Rules 2003. They will apply to the Register of Authority using the PV6 to review the renewable under the Section 6, Section 4B PPVFR Rules 2003. So this is all about the PPVFR 2001. Thank you. Thank you all.